We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Could AI agent winter have ended yesterday with the 20% rise in virtuals and other AI agent coin, including my favorite one, Antivirus, doing better? Generally speaking, could altcoins get off the map led by Bitcoin? It's very, very possible. All right. Am I live? Is everyone hearing me good? All right. I'm going to continue here. I'm going to welcome who's here. We have Holy Schmoly. We have Huber's Ranch. Welcome. Dara, Thomas, Zach, Alexandra from Europe, Gian, welcome. Victor in the house. Hello. Hello. Okay. Let's go. Let's see what news we got. Good morning from Puerto Rico. Okay, so inflation erodes the value of workers' wages. It's no surprise that strikes in the private sector exploded in 2023, and it remained at elevated levels at almost twice the average for the previous 20 years in 2024. All right, so this is the latest disaster. I don't know, the latest disaster graph coming from the legacy world, showing the blue line as inflation currently, and the dotted line is, from the 1970s, where there was an initial wave of inflation and then it came off and then there was another big wave. It's because the Federal Reserve stopped tightening or cut rates or whatever. And then they had a reverse course. And there's an argument that tariffs or any other problems could create another wave of inflation. How cheery, owning gold, owning Bitcoin. I don't know if the Fed can raise or lower interest rates. And I don't know if it matters if it does. It's really about government spending. Right. I mean, this line is going to uptick if they give Americans $5,000 each. I mean, that's effectively like printing money and putting it in people's hands. If you're going to do that, that would, be beneficial to society rather than giving it to the Pentagon or some other corrupt government agencies. But if everybody goes shopping all at the same time, it's still inflationary. I would rather buy crypto than buy into, disaster everything. Okay, speaking of disaster everything, a lot of this money that was printed wound up in the hands of people who got here from overseas, right? So whether you like that or you don't like that, I mean, not everybody that came over here was bad, but not everybody that came over here was good either. And that was, more people came into the United States last year than came in through a legal port of entry from the old days at Ellis Island in New York over the last 60 years. So we printed money, we handed it out. I hope these people can all find jobs. Good luck with that in the age of AI. They're not deporting anybody, just as a point of information. Now, for shock value, which would be shock value if it wasn't shock value every day with Donald Trump, is that the Department of Justice has been politicized like never before. Therefore, I have instructed determination of all remaining Biden-era U.S. attorneys. We must clean house immediately and restore confidence. America's golden age must have a fair justice system. That begins today. Just keeping in mind that Donald Trump, had a show called The Apprentice where, he would fire people indiscriminately. And that is now happening at the government level in mass. Ron Paul's son, says, get your popcorn, tune in to C-SPAN. I'm introducing an amendment that would put our country on a path to fiscal irresponsibility and stability. So the only way to avoid this is some permanent constraint on government spending, because it seems like the market is in a big hurry to, the government's in a big hurry to cut spending on one hand and then return that money to the American people. Naturally, people are defaulting on credit cards, defaulting on auto payments. Really it's in that case, if people use it for that, it's bank welfare. It could also be Walmart welfare. They missed earnings yesterday, and that stock gapped lower. So the economy is just in terrible shape, as if I needed to tell you that. Okay, so we're going to open the doors and we're going to inspect Fort Knox. I continue to believe this is BS. This is not a big gotcha story, because if the gold is not there, you're going to have system-wide panic, and you don't have to worry about it, because we just had explosive gold deliveries from Switzerland to put everything either in the Fed or in Fort Knox just in time for the tour with Elon. Now, Elon says he's considering having Doge audit the Federal Reserve. Well, Elon, if you need to hire somebody for that, let me know. Okay. The current staff you have is not qualified for that. That assumes they even let you in there. When the Fed makes decisions, they make it in some secret soundproof, signal-proof room. So again, I wish you the best of luck, and what you find in there could be shocking. Okay. Doge wants to, like I said, they want to get inside the Fed. Ron Paul wants to go in with them. They're missing $7 trillion. Most likely, if they're missing $7 trillion, that means they used it to prop up equities and the bond market, because there's no bid for our bonds unless we literally print money and buy our bonds back, right? It's called Treasury QE. So if they don't know where $7 trillion is, you don't want to know. You really don't. I mean, if you're in Bitcoin, the best thing that can happen is, to have the media go, wow, 7 trillion is missing and we want to audit the Fed and they won't let us in. I mean, that's good for Bitcoin, right? Because that gets people thinking about an alternative form of money. Now, if they actually go in there and start finding stuff, okay, well, you don't want to know what they find, right? You're going to find out that the plunge protection team is really the market manipulation team to keep equities moving, because based on the George Soros theme of reflexivity, the stock market doesn't reflect the economy. That's what the economics book says is supposed to happen, right? Really what happens is the stock market goes up and then economic activity follows that, right? CEOs feel good. Everybody feels good. Everyone's 401k feels good. Everybody borrows money against their NVIDIA stock. Those people bid up the price of steak, but the economy's better off if the stock market is better off, supposedly, than if the stock market went down. Okay. So yeah, watch out. This is a real picture. Somehow Elon decided to bail out the president of Argentina from his meme coin disaster by having the president of Argentina show up with a chainsaw for cutting through the bureaucracy. These guys want to meme it out. I'm into memes. So yeah, if Elon couldn't restore the antivirus Twitter, that would be good. We're working on that. And if you want your chainsaw, that's really good, but you're not taking that into the Fed. So, but a little victory lap on what they've done so far. There's nothing wrong with that. And with that said, the government can do what it needs to do, but the Japanese MicroStrategy holds 0.01% of the total Bitcoin supply. They bought 69 Bitcoin last night. And you know what, folks? I'm going to spare you the lecture, but there's two things going on in Asia. One, the Japanese have lost control of their bond market. Inflation actually printed 4% over there, which is like crazy. They tried to create inflation in Japan for years, and now they've created it and they can't stop it. Right? The bond market is crashing, and the yen is doing things that are reminiscent of what happened last year. Okay, I'm not going to get that upset about it. It doesn't matter until it matters. I don't blame Metaplanet for wanting to get out of the yen and get into Bitcoin. They may accelerate that process, and you may start seeing the Chinese coming in out of Hong Kong, because Chinese money supply has increased to the point where it is literally laughable as to what they've done with Chinese money supply. This is not a joke. This is Chinese M1 money supply the Chinese printing to try to stave off any kind of major problem over there. Good luck with that. Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund bought 436 million of the Bitcoin ETF. This is a big deal because this is really the first sovereign wealth fund to come in and buy big. Yeah, it's not a lot of sovereign wealth funds who have come in and done Bitcoin. Maybe some of them have done MicroStrategy, but this is like the first headline Bitcoin purchase. And, you know, again, these guys are not stupid. They know what's going on. They know it's over for fiat, you know. I mean, the Japanese have serious problems. You know, I would imagine the Europeans have serious problems if the German right-wing party doesn't win that election. I mean, I'm not from Europe and I'm not from Germany, obviously. So I'm not familiar with the politics. I just know that, you know, Elon is bullposting the right-wing party, and the left-wing party will put you in prison for what you put on Facebook, making the argument for people in Germany to have an antivirus eSIM private data plan and eSIM gift card. So if you want to post on like an anonymous Facebook, you can. Scary that you even need that. Okay. So Vitalik criticizes crypto moral shift towards gambling. You know, I tend to think Vitalik is right, even though it's incredibly unpopular. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Coinbase says meme coins as a gateway to mass crypto adoption. Okay. So I have a meme coin that I like. Okay. So you have a meme coin that you like. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know how you get mass crypto adoption when these things are being listed on centralized exchanges and being dumped on people's heads. But theoretically, he's right. It's easier for people to understand a meme coin than it is for people to understand a layer one or a marketplace like Virtuals, I guess, right? Coinbase listed tech projects for a long time. They were available. You know, if you had influencers talking about things like XRP and Cardano, people had no trouble buying those things last cycle. So, yeah, I mean, yes and no, right? If it's a casino and everyone gets smoked and you have capital destruction, that's not onboarding. All right. So, you know, I don't want to be a grumpy old man because I have my meme coin. You know, Vitalik is going to need DeFi to come back. And by the way, DeFi is back. You know, what used to be Phantom is rallying and what used to be Maker is rallying hard, right? This is a big theme, you know, that my groups come out with, like DeFi, DeFi, DeFi. Like, you know, something's wrong with a bank somewhere if we look at what used to be the Maker chart, which is now Sky. Okay, so now or never, last chance to see Ben Armstrong. You know, it's really a terrible thing for the space when somebody's mental health deterioration becomes an excuse for something to talk about on Twitter or YouTube about crypto, right? It's like we've gone from this like euphoric, like, you know, strategic altcoin reserve, and now we're in winter, which fits the theory of cycles within cycles, right? Euphoria, bear market, right? And then, you know, I don't know how long this lasts. I'm expecting something to happen into Bitcoin Vegas, right, in May. So something's going to happen good in April and May. You know, I don't know what March holds, but if this is all we got to talk about, then it's actually bullish. We'll go over some charts of AI agents in a minute, right? So Elon wants to send everybody a Doge dividend. You know, that's nice. That's nice, right? Let's hope it all goes into Bitcoin. Introducing the first ever SEC regulated yield-bearing stablecoin. So, you know, stablecoins may wind up saving U.S. government debt, you know, because all these stablecoins got to back the stablecoin with something. So, you know, this creates a buyer for U.S. government debt, and it's about time we had interest rates in crypto. Somebody's eventually going to figure out that we need a yield curve for Bitcoin. Vitalik has staking. So, you know, it would be logical if Ethereum had a yield curve too, wrapped around the staking rate. I mean, the staking rate could be Fed funds, and then you could have 10-year bonds issued in Ethereum, but this will require somebody on the institutional side to wake up and care. To wake up and care, right? Okay, so the Kaido airdrop, not exactly familiar with it. Ansem received 230,000 from an airdrop, sold 100%. Mert, whoever that is, sold 80%. Anthony Sassano sold 100%. Okay. Meanwhile, Janice McAfee, widow of John McAfee, the original crypto influencer, locked up 10% of her tokens. I mean, she owns 10% of the supply and she locked it. So Ansem selling, Janice locking. All right. So for Antivirus TA, this was definitely a selling climax. It's kind of funny. I sat in my hotel room when I went to interview Janice McAfee and I watched some whale puke everything out at 6 cents. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Right. Meanwhile, I had the interview queued up with Janice where, we were just going to talk about whatever Janice wanted to talk about. And I got to spend like 6 hours with the team where they showed me how to use the privacy functions that are operational in the project. So they got an AI agent of John McAfee, which we're trying to get back on Twitter. We got Janice, like the celebrity figurehead, using antivirus to get John McAfee's message out there. And, dare I say this word, utility. No, which is good because, like AI agents kind of like woke up yesterday, right? So here's the full interview with Janice. It's about 30 minutes, and then there are smaller clips, about why this could be important. McAfee's vision and, McAfee's AI agent, what does it mean to you? So, needless to say, I'm after it with charts, all over the place. Okay, so Solana, free trading on Solana is not free. It's not, right? So they boosted the inflation rate by 30% from 3.6 to 4.7 as 100% of the fees now go to the validators, right? The validators provide you with trading, right? Solana provides them with Solana and they sell the Solana. That's how you get free trading. So they cut the Solana burns from 17,000 to 1,000. The community now awaits SIMD 228, which aims to introduce dynamic inflation based on staking rates. Right. In other words, free trading is not free. I mean, it is, but, it limits upside in Solana. So that's it. But that's okay because people like it. I got my coin on Solana. What am I going to do? Be a grumpy old man and complain? I just don't want people to get smoked because this whole idea of rug pulls being okay is terrible. It's horrible. So, yeah, I mean, they released Dogefather yesterday with Elon because he came out with that thing with the chainsaw and talked about the Godfather. The thing went up to I don't know. I saw it at I saw it over 10 million market cap and it rugged. Rugs are now somehow acceptable. I have no idea how that could be the case. And I have no idea what that says about the space. It's like, okay, if we have rugs, we don't have a rally. That's it. It's like karma. Okay, so Vitalik says the most disappointing thing for me recently was when someone said that Ethereum is bad and intolerant because we don't respect casinos on the blockchain enough, and other chains are happy to accept any applications, so they are better. Okay. Now, what Vitalik should be saying, right, is that he wants to bring institutions to DeFi on Ethereum. He wants institutions on Ethereum, right? If retail wants to go on Solana, fantastic. Have a good time. But he wants institutions on Ethereum. If we could get some different messaging out of him, that would be helpful. He's actually speaking in Austin. I'm not going, but he is talking in Austin coming up soon. Okay, new SEC cyber unit closes chapter on agency's crypto enforcement emphasis. Okay, so let's stop suing crypto companies as a way to make crypto laws. Okay, AI agent winter may have just come to an end. You have virtual popping back up above the 78% retracement with a really good Williams oscillator signal here. This is nice. This is nice. Right? I mean, this stuff is just totally oversold. Again, we've gone from AI coins worth $1 trillion to AI coins worth 0. And reality is somewhere in the middle. AI XBT showed a little life yesterday with a nice little pop on the 4-hour charts. Again, you know, everyone out, everyone bearish, everyone giving up. I mean, if you zoom in just on AI XBT, I mean, it's like straight down, right? Straight down. Boom. Right? That's just a total give up trade. Like the guy that sold antivirus at 6 cents, knowing that I'm sitting in my hotel room going to interview Janice, where, you know, I mean, again, you know, she's determined, right? And all these AI agents are, you know, there's redeeming value somewhere. Now, a lot of these projects are going to run into bag holders. You know, retail, I learned this at Morgan Stanley coming off a bear market. Retail always sells the first rally, right? Retail's like, oh, thank God I can get out now. When frankly, you should probably be getting in, right? Especially if you look at what's going on in other sectors of the market. Okay, bullish despite recent bearish trends. Funds and influencers predict Solana could hit 520 or more by the end of 2025. The Solana phone is coming out in March. Excuse me. We need something else going on Solana other than the casino, right? I mean, the only way the casino makes any sense on Solana, if these AI agents become sophisticated enough to start issuing coins themselves, right? Like Truth Terminal introduced FART, you know. All right. So Doge Father, just to be clear, the Doge Father yesterday rugged a new one, but apparently an older one that's been out is still okay after spiking up. But again, really, I mean, I get it. This is a daily chart. You know, the thing about Elon is he's hogging up the news flow. He's hogging up the news flow, man. We can't get any news flow moving towards crypto because even Michael Saylor can't drown out the Elon headline of the day. Right? He's hogging up the news flow. SEC acknowledgement for 3 spot Bitcoin ETFs filings could trigger a rally to $6. Now, here's the thing, right? So, you know, bear posting XRP has been like, it's like the new controversial thing to do, right? Like some guy named Grant Cardone says, I dumped all my XRP at 270. You know, everyone's down on this now. Everyone was like bullish at 3 and bearish at 250. Look, this is a fast form of money. That's it. And I know everybody's waiting for the U.S. government to do something with this. That may or may not happen, but it's still fast money, and fiat is still a disaster. It is. Fiat is an absolute total disaster. I'm listening to these macro guys going on and on and on. You know, the Chinese printing, the Japanese losing control of their yield curve. And I don't know that matters for us, you know, like it did in August of last year. It doesn't matter until it matters for the stock market. And I don't think it matters for the stock market because the Fed does nothing but print. That's it, right? They cannot have the equity market go down or Trump's going to clean it out. That's it. That's probably the deal. It's like, look, you don't fire us, you don't audit us, and, you know, we'll just keep everything moving. By the way, breaking news, the SEC just dropped its case against Coinbase. There was no case against Coinbase. I mean, there was, but there wasn't. So the SEC is like, okay, can we just stop now? Thank you. Okay, SEC approves first yield-bearing stablecoin security. You know, like, let's get it going. And the good news is they are getting it going. You know, State of the Union on March 4th, right? This is how the Orange Man has done it in the past, right? They roll out the small headlines, and then boom, right? Introducing, okay, so we did the yield-bearing stablecoin, and that's Chinese money supply. This is not a joke, right? Chinese is just like, this is a disaster, and we're printing. That's it. They don't have a choice, right? They have all of this. First, they did a bunch of, you know, they did forced lending by banks for 20 years. That helped build up their industrial base. That was good. And then all that forced lending and printed money wound up in stock and real estate speculation, particularly real estate. And the real estate got nuked, and that's it. So everybody defaults on their loans. Everybody's insolvent, and then the Chinese government has to print and absorb it all. That's all. I mean, that's really kind of complicated, but that's what's happening. Okay. So back to crypto. Oh my God, Arrow up 10%. Do my eyes deceive me? No, they don't. Okay. Arrow didn't get to the discount zone, but you had another round of capitulation here. And this is just a total give up trade again. You never got all the bullish signals, but you did break a trend line by going sideways. Oh my God. Thank God. Okay. Ethereum moving back towards resistance. Let's go to DeMark on some of this stuff. Like finally, this thing is like waking up. Oh, thank God. I'm so tired of the down market. God. I mean, this thing grounds you into sand. Okay. Which is probably why it's coming back, right? Because everyone was just like, I'm done. I'm out. You know, Solana with the 13 bottom and this DeMark signal, you know, Solana got hammered. In some ways, Solana is a good leading indicator as to whether the market can just like climb out of the sludge. You got a lot of room up here to 200. Not a lot of room here on the DeMark chart. You know, Bitcoin, really kind of funny. You know, they ran all the stops and got everybody negative. They ran right into a DeMark point. They just ran into it face first. And then boom. You know, this is a 4-hour chart, man. They could take this back over 100 easily, right? You know, there's no DeMark point in Bitcoin until 102. And I'm trying to remember if the DeMark weekly is okay for Bitcoin. It is, right? I mean, DeMark weekly for Bitcoin, in theory, you could have, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13. You could have 4 more up weeks if this thing really did turn around, right? I mean, you know, in other words, you'd have to have a robust rally and for this count, which is, you know, we're currently at 9. So it goes 1 through 13 for big trends. You know, even if that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. You know, I don't know. Yeah, you could have 4 more weeks. It could, right? ETH, 9 bottom on the weekly. You know what I'm saying? Like 9 bottom was big here before the election. Whoop. You know, what's wrong with this? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with this. You know, ETH did nothing for, you know, this whole, and you know what? That's bullish. Like when ETH moves in those square ranges, that's bullish, right? I mean, ETH moved in a square range here and collapsed. Okay, I get it. But a lot of times when ETH's on the way up, if it moves in a square range, it can pop out. And that would be extremely refreshing. Now, again, XRP, everyone gave up on this. I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure. I mean, State of the Union's coming up. These guys are American made. You know, they're going to dump the transaction tasks on all American crypto, and XRP can be accepted as money. And, you know, you can argue that this is a temporary top, just like this was a temporary bottom. Or you can argue that as XRP grinds higher, you know, if it takes out 313, you can have 2 weeks up. I mean, you know, I don't want to get stupid, you know, and maybe there's a better buy out there. I don't know. Maybe we can look at Algorand. Yeah, these American cryptos, they've just been hammered. Like, look at Algorand. Like, you know, they had to do a dippy-do below these this DeMark support point at 27 cents, and now it's going the other way. What's wrong with this? Nothing. I mean, dude, if you're going to have antivirus go from 6 cents to almost 12 cents last night, you got all these other big AI agent coins waking up. You know, we haven't even talked about Maker. I forgot to do this. So, I mean, Hedera, does it get any better than this? 13 bottom confirmed by the up move yesterday? Huh? Wow. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't, right? I mean, if this was the wave 1 up and this was the wave 2 correction, you could start wave 3 up in Hedera. You could have huge upside in this. Just saying. Just saying, you know, and if you went down here, and started looking at DeFi, you know, I got a colleague who's like, DeFi, 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 DeFi. Look at this. This is Maker, you know, like your dad's DeFi from, you know, 2 cycles ago or 1 cycle ago. Oh, this thing is moving. This thing was down at its discount zone on February 11th when it was at, you know, 3 cents. It's now at 6. It's now called Sky Protocol. Phantom. Well, what used to be Phantom is now moving as well, right? I don't know. I don't have the right symbol here for this. Let's just go back to the old symbol, FTM. I don't know. I think they have it, you know, merged together. You know, this thing is moving. You know, fast layer ones, DeFi. People, you got something wrong with the banks out there. I mean, there's all the stuff about what's going on in Japan. Norinchukin Bank is in trouble, blah, 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 blah. People, they got to get the financial system ported over to crypto, period. Right? And I know everyone's looking for inflation. I get it, right? Everyone's like, oh, you know, inflation and it's terrible. Okay, well, explain this to me then. You know, Walmart goes up and up and up and up and up because everyone's shopping at Walmart now. They have a whole new customer base and then they missed earnings. So you have up only, 5-wave top at the premium zone. Now Lux Algo selling. So, you know, Walmart missing earnings means people are spending less money and the economy sucks, which means, you know, the Fed has to cut rates. I mean, why do you think Elon wants to get $5,000 in everyone's pocket? You don't think they don't know what's going on with the economy? They know what's going on. This is why they want to give everybody $5,000, because if Walmart can't make money, or if Walmart, I mean, of course, the expectations after this rally, I'm sure, were absurd, but still, right? Walmart's not making money. The economy sucks. If the economy sucks, they got to help people. And one of the best ways to help people is to moon Bitcoin. Get the strategic Bitcoin reserve going. Create a wealth effect. For God's sakes, let's go. Okay, antivirus on an 8-hour chart, right? You know, it's like, I'm going to talk about antivirus because there's nothing else to talk about, or at least there wasn't up until today. So discount zone, demarc buy signal, total capitulation. You know, this like red on red, like everyone packed it in on this. Everybody thought it was a rug. Everybody thought blah, 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 blah. I spent 6 hours with the team, and just as a point of information, equilibrium on Lux Algo is 47 and premium is 85 cents. That's it. That's just what's on the chart, along with possibly a cup and handle on the 30-minute chart. And we're going to see if TA works on something that's around 10 million market cap. We'll see. We don't know. If it has a natural rhythm, I would consider that a good thing, to be honest. Okay. Ski and virtuals did virtuals, right? I saw Ski online tweeting at Brian Young saying, yo, bro, can you help us out here? Okay. No. Okay. So Ski at 60 cents, Ski did what virtuals did, right? They got to take it below the 78% retracement. I thought 62% retracement should have held. And this is what happens if it doesn't, right? You don't get the 62% retracement to hold. It just, you know, it comes unglued. And then you have capitulation selling, and then you see what happens. Right? I don't know. Let's just like, I don't know. I saw everyone talking about Giga Chad yesterday. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, there's Giga Chad. 300 million market cap. 300 million. I'm calling every ex-Goldman contact that I know about antivirus. So again, 78% retracement seems to be the thing, right? You know, I mean, look, if meme coins are going to onboard everybody, then the best time to do meme coins is not up here when Coinbase is dumping it on your head at Christmas. It's down here after they destroy it, right? I mean, you know, if you're going to get involved, of course, this assumes anybody's got any money to get involved, right? That's the, you know, that's the thing, right? Okay, so this is the one with 13 million in liquidity. This is SPX. And again, interesting, because this thing, this coin has like surprised people, and 62% actually held. Boy, did they battle it out down here. Whoa, look at this volume. You know what I'm saying? Like they really got after it down here, but oh no. Okay, yeah. So they got after it. These, memes, AI agent coins. I don't know. Let's check, see what AI 16Z is doing. Because this thing got, right. They hammered this, something serious, right? Yeah. I mean, you have to remember this about this whole, anything involving memes. I don't know, AI agents, I don't know. Like 1 minute AI agents are taking over the whole world. Everyone's on TV talking about AI agents, and then it's like down and no one cares. You know what I'm saying? Like no one cares. And then, it does this. They take out, I mean, this can't even get above the 78% retracement. So who knows this coming back? Virtuals is. Right. Let's take a look at there's 2 other projects that I think are interesting that are actually low market cap, right? This is now down below 4 million. This is Lush, right? I mean, these guys may have tech to get influencers going 24 hours a day that look like human beings, right? And then the guys that brought me this have brought me, the latest is 0x0 or 0x0x, right? So yeah, I mean, this is, this is a total whatever coin. Supposedly they got the ability to get music influencers involved and get music on chain. Oh, it doesn't trade terrible, but at 1 million market cap, it's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, it's not like, you can't get me off antivirus, but I mean, there's just stuff out there. It's just, my point is just stuff out there. It's just so destroyed, right? I did Lush. Any thoughts on the new coin yesterday? Pi. I have not looked at that. I have not looked at that. I didn't, let's just see if I can get it up on the screen here. Yeah, don't have it yet. Don't have it yet. Okay, so here's the deal. The market's doing better. You shop when it's down. Shop when it's down. People are giving up on XRP. I don't think that makes sense. People gave up on ETH. I don't think that makes sense. People were selling Bitcoin at 92K, and that was just flat out stupid. Stupid, right? I mean, if Bitcoin turns around and takes out 108, people are going to be like, wow, I really missed that. Because people got all bearish. For what? People are missing a liquidate. People are confusing a liquidation trade with the change in the trend or the overall market, right? Memes and AI agents all the way up, all the way down, a cycle within a cycle, right? So, you can't have spring without winter, as my colleague says. You cannot have spring without winter, okay? And that's what happened. And then, first they liquidate the leverage people like 900 million or some crazy number that's bigger than FTX, right? They liquidate all of that. And then they liquidated everyone who was in spot. That's all. This is Pi, from the Eagle King. Interesting market cap. A lot of stuff is doing the bigger the base, the higher in the space. I don't know if this is included in that or not. Right. A lot of times, like bear chain, a lot of stuff that's new. You want to look at whatever's new. And again, that's my colleague, right? DeFi, the DeFi that's moving, you want to look at. And then you want to look at anything that's new coming out of the ashes of this whole thing, because frankly, the narrative for crypto hasn't changed because you need a different form of money. And, AI agents and anything that's got utility and functionality and excitement, like whatever I'm doing or whatever you're doing, right? If you're doing virtuals, I mean, what? You're going to sell virtuals at 1 point, what was this? Where did this go? This virtuals is at 1.3 billion. This was at 5 billion previously. You got to be kidding me, right? You know, like here's another example of people packing it in. Solana user activity dropped 40% as meme coin rug pulls erode trust, driving capital outflow to Ethereum and Arbitrum. Look, people, again, the market will go down until the nonsense stops. The market just purged everybody. It's like, okay, you want to do this? Great. You want to make rug pulls the center of crypto? Great. Let's take the whole market down. We'll just mark everything down until you stop. Or until people just stop getting involved in that. People go, what else is out there? And go to ETH or Arbitrum or, you know, just go to higher quality stuff. That's all. You know, remember DYOR, do your own research? I mean, this like, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what people have been doing, right? They've been doing nothing. They've been just FOMOing because I get it. People want to create their own money and there's 1,000x and everyone wants to gamble. You know, everyone's trying to make money and I get that, but there are ways to make money in crypto. And one of the best ways to make money in crypto is shop when the market is down. Okay. That's it for today, people. We will see you on Monday.